Today we're talking about the Pera problem. Problem with Pera as a word and with the way we use it. First, though, a brief history of this word. It comes from Tumblr. It's a Tumblrism. The Maladaptive Daydreaming community, a few years back, kind of collectively decided that character was not the best descriptor they could use. Immersive or maladaptive daydreaming is kind of a unique experience. We have a lot of ourselves wrapped up in it, wrapped up in our worlds and our characters. Many of us do anyway. And character, as a word, could mean a lot of things. So to convey something more specific about the relationship between the daydreamer and the character in their daydreams, a new word was picked. And that was Pera. And for a while it just sort of hung out on Tumblr, but it started spreading to the other communities. And here we are a few years later, and it's very popular. It's good to know what the word Pera means because you're going to be seeing it a lot, whether or not you choose to use it yourself. I've seen a lot of content that describes what a Pera is, defines it, and gives it context, but I don't think I've seen anything yet really that comes from the other side and explains why someone would choose not to use this word. And I think that that's very important because as Pera has been gaining popularity, as the language of maladaptive daydreaming is evolving, it's starting to be presented as, I don't want to say official, but that is kind of how it's coming off. There is a lot of attempts to define Pera, which sort of start with, this is the word maladaptive daydreamers use. This is what they are called in maladaptive daydreaming. These are the terms you need to know to fit in here. And therein lies the problem. There is no secret language you need to know to fit in with us. It's good to know because you're going to be seeing it, but you do not need to use the term Pera. You do not need to feel comfortable with the word Pera. It is even possible that you are the type of daydreamer who does not have Peras. It is not a standard. It is a useful term, but it is not the standard language of maladaptive daydreaming. We're not a super special secret club. We're a support community. And whatever you're comfortable with using, that's what you should use. So I touched on why somebody would want to use that. And you can find tons of other stuff where people explain what their Peras mean to them. But we're actually going to talk about why someone would not want to use it. Firstly, they may just not have Peras. The emotional attachment, the relationship that we have to our characters is not universal among maladaptive daydreamers or immersive daydreamers. Some people aren't actually that attached to their characters. They will swap them out, kill them off. No big deal, they're just characters. Some people address their maladaptive daydreaming or use their immersive daydreaming in an artistic way. Perhaps you're a writer, and though you love your stories, you love your characters, that's what they are. They are characters in a piece that you're creating. And though they might qualify as Peras, they just aren't. That's just not how you think of them. Next, we have something a little more difficult to pin down. Just in general unease with the words. I think the people, perhaps, who are more severely affected by maladaptive daydreaming are the people who are going to be feeling this a little bit. Language has power. Our daydreaming has a power over us, a power that so many of us really, really struggle with. And giving this name to them, it gives them something extra. It gives them something more value and right to exist in and interrupt our lives. It almost feels like you are inextricably tangled in this experience that is ethereal and beyond you, and so perhaps beyond management. That might not be something that somebody who's really trying to gain control of their life needs to be telling themselves. And I know nobody's saying that to them. It's just the nature of language. To give something a name means something. And that can be very useful in a lot of ways. and it can be very uncomfortable in other ways. So when you're coming into the community and you see this everywhere, and you're told this is what it is, this is what you have, these are the words you should be using. It makes it feel like these are not your people. We're just not on the same page. And granted, we might not be on the same page. Everybody's sort of going through their own thing, addressing it their own way. But the point is, we are all at least unified in our experience as maladaptive daydreamers. And we can all accept one another and respect how we're choosing to address things. So this is what we're going to do about it. We are not going to police each other's language. No one speaks on behalf of this entire community. No one needs to alter their language to be accepted by this community. If para or character or something else I haven't even addressed here is the word for you, then that is what you should use. We're all MDers. We're going to get what you're talking about. And most importantly, we are not going to tell one another which words are appropriate to use. Or maybe we will. No one speaks for the entire community. Not me. That's for damn sure. But I really freaking hope that's what we're going to do. Right? That's your homework. Embrace it all. Embrace every maladaptive daydreaming experience, because we've been alone for way too damn long. And we are finally building something together. Let's make it good.